Child, listen. I know some of y'all asked me to talk about it. Like the he it goes, okay? I'm not gonna be going into too much detail about it because I feel like it was giving dumb as hell. All right. But I'll just give y'all my little tidbits of thoughts about it. Okay. So for the people that do not know, um, Arion Curry, who has been the side chick to Martell during his long-term marriage to Melody Cherie of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Um, she's now the baby mama to his fifth child. And recently on the show of Love and Marriage Huntsville, obviously the Scotts, meaning Marsau and Tisha, have had some friction with Martell, primarily Marsau and Martell, because of something that Marsau said during the interview. They started to beef out, okay? To get at Marsau, Martell decided to throw Miss Tisha under the bus and talk about her sex life from God knows how long ago, okay? So far removed, I would think, after she has now been married with children and have moved the hell on. But okay. So Tisha decides to go and be a part of Carlos's show that he does, and on that show, she ended up mentioning some things that she heard back in the day. Okay, you're gonna bring up things that I did back in the day, then I'm gonna bring up these that I heard about you back in the day, and she alleged that Martell liked men. Okay, so Martell got real quiet, didn't say a lot. Okay, Miss Arion went over to her page and she put like some post up. Can't remember what it was, but she put up something like "BIT, I see you." Okay, well, their way of firing back to the allegations that Tisha made was them pulling in a young woman who they are alleging is a side chick to Marsau, okay, or at least was a side chick back in the day to Marsau. So they pull her in for this interview, and Miss Ariane has been telling people for many a years that she was going to do something on her YouTube channel, okay. And instead of allowing the people to get to know you a bit more and let them see that you're more than a, I suppose, side chick or whatever you want the people to see on your channel, okay? She decides to partner up with Martell and bring to the people somewhat of a podcast exposing Marsau. Okay, now I will say, girl, my favorite part of this day of podcast was after Martell said the Scots asked or something like that, and Arion says, and we delivered. Let's get into it. All right. That right there was my favorite part. I thought that shit was hilarious, okay? Because honestly, I'm not even here to really drag them, but I am here to just be honest, okay? Honestly, I didn't mind them like wanting to come together and drag these folks. And if they are together, they together. Like, girl, whatever. Okay. So I was kind of slick here for it. Like, okay, y'all asked and we deliver, and that's why we here today. Okay. Um, but I will say, I was here for y'all getting into some things, but it went exactly as I expected it to. Okay. Um, it went exactly as I expected it. I said, "Listen, I don't know if this is going to hit." And I was talking to Bondi them, and I was like, "I don't know if this is gonna hit how they think that this is gonna hit." I think it's going to end up being them getting drugged by a lot of people versus Marceau actually getting exposed. Okay, and as soon as the interview started, we could kind of already tell how this is going to play out because Arion starts off with a question right out the gate of asking this young lady, um, when did she meet Marsau? Then she skipped that and went straight to, well, how did y'all meet? So the young lady, I can't remember her face, but the way the questioning was asked was as though it was unfamiliar to that person as to when they met somebody. So let me ask y'all how y'all met. No, I think, and let me say this also, okay, before we get into it. No, we already into it. First of all, I do not I felt like they needed some questions. I think that if y'all knew y'all were gonna ask the alleged side chick some questions, y'all should have asked the people to give y'all questions. What y'all want to know from Marsau's alleged side chick? The people would have sent in some questions, ain't it? And all y'all had to do was follow the questions that were listed. Now, that's tip number one. Should y'all decide to move forward with this, because I do believe that Ariane was like, oh, I could see here, I could do this a few more times, okay? Because she's alleging that she's been on the phone with a whole nother woman that's been connected to Marsau. Now, I don't expect them to be perfect because this ain't their arena. A lot of people come and want to sit down and do podcasts and stuff because they feel like they have good conversations on the phone. So it's like, okay, well, then shoot, let us sit down and do this too. And it really don't be hitting how you may think that it's hitting. It has to translate, okay? And right now, I feel like this did not translate. Use this as an example to go and do better. What also did not help y'all, and a lot of, asking questions wouldn't really be needed if you had a person that loves to talk, right? And they're gonna give you all the details, meaning that when they tell you so much stuff, you ain't even. It's like, dang, I was gonna ask you that, but you already answered it because they're willing to talk. This young lady was giving a little bit of Trisha for me, just a little piece. Okay, I did feel like she was stumbling over her words. I felt like things were not connecting. I felt like it wasn't making sense. You didn't know Marsau was married at one point. Then you found out that he was married, but then you knew he was married from the beginning. And it's like, wait a minute. Okay, is this bone connected to that bone that's connected to this bone? Because the bones they not connected for me, bitch. I don't know what the hell y'all had going on over there, girl, but it was not, calculator has broken down. Okay. Timeline is very important when you're trying to bring things to people about an alleged mistress. Okay, we need timeline. We need to know what happened. When did you meet this man? How did this all come about? Like, the story was just all over the place and it wasn't making sense. Like, to a point where it sounded like she was smashing Maurice and Marsau. And I'm just like, what the hell going on? Now I know they was doing their stripper stuff and all of that. Dance parties or whatever they was having down there at the Credit One or the barbershop or wherever the hell they was at now. Now I know they was doing that, but you mean to tell me that you smashed on both of them? Now I will say this. It's not too far-fetched for me to believe that some things could have definitely went down. Okay? Whether it was at the barbershop, whether it was at Credit One, wherever the hell it was at, I wouldn't be surprised if some stuff did go down. All right, when it came to Marsau, Maurice, whatever they were doing while they were in relationships, okay, including marriage. I don't put that past them at all, because my thing is this, and has always been this. I refuse to believe, I just refuse to believe that y'all would be around Martell as much as y'all have and witness certain things and not have participated as well. Based on how Marsau was moving it, when we first got introduced to him, it was giving a man that cheats. The way you wanted your wife to stay home so much. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like it was a benefit to her of some sort. Like you want to take care of her. It was giving you needed her to be at home so she won't be out here in these streets knowing what you're doing. And that was well before we even found out really about the whole cheating with Martell. Like we could kind of tell that right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? But I don't put that SHI past them. And Maurice Luther King, Maurice Luther King Scott, who loves to come to the front and defend people and speak to people and get people on the side. I wouldn't be surprised if he's tried to cover for his brother at all. Okay, so they definitely about be into some things. But that's just my opinion. Okay, I don't know that to be fact or what these people do for real, for real. But the optics for me is that's what it's giving. I just wish that I feel like this interview could have hit better if it was a bit more organized. And it really wasn't. It wasn't given organized at all. It was given y'all were so anxious to expose somebody that you didn't even do it the proper way. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't good. Then at some point, Arion wanted to make sure that people know that she and Martell are together, even though people already know that. The way she kept mentioning baby this, baby that, she kept mentioning, girl, it was at one point of the sit down where Arion had asked the girl, because the girl talked about going to Las Vegas. And see, that's the thing too. Some of what the girl says does sound like that happened. Okay, so some of it was a little off, but then some of it sound believable. That's why I'm like, this could have hit better if y'all had better lines of questioning or whatever. But when she started talking about going out to Vegas and all of that, Arion is flipping this and making this more so about her interview. I'm like, girl, if you and Martell want to sort out y'all stuff and whatever it is y'all got going on and break down different stuff, then do that on a whole nother video. Okay, right now this is this girl's video. We don't really need too much of what y'all got going on. And why is you sitting up here trying to figure out whether this man was messing with other women when he was already cheating on his wife with you? I am confusion, ma'am. I don't. What is what? What? You know. But it just the interview kind of, it just fell flat. It was a bit, disappointing. Miss Arion was taking a lot of shots at Tisha. I'm trying to recall everything that I could remember about it because I ain't taking no notes, child. But she was taking shots at Tisha, and I didn't fully understand, like, why are these notes happening? I mean, not the notes, but why is this energy happening with this girl? Like, not notes, but these shots. Like, why are these shots happening? Like, why are you coming at Tisha the way that you're coming at her? I understand Tisha came out and accused Marsau of liking, boys or whatever. And people have been alleging that that's something that you've even said. But I don't recall. So y'all gonna have to just drop a little clip for me or direct a clip. And don't direct me to no full clip because I'm not gonna watch no full clip, girl. It need to be 1 minute or less, okay? To where she may have said that, all right? But even with that, it's like some part of me is just like that's they beef. Maybe you feel away because Tisha acknowledged the fact that you got some work done allegedly. And maybe it's the fact that Tisha outed that Martell was showing people you. You're not showing pictures and videos of you being naked or whatever like that. Maybe you felt the way about that. Maybe you felt like Tisha didn't need to include you in that part. If your issue gonna be with Martell, stick over there. Stick with Martell and Mel. Don't bring me up in it and what he may have been doing or not doing with me. But I feel like maybe Tisha mentioned it to get you pissed. I don't know. That this is what he's doing and how he's moving. I also know that Arionne said that Tisha the one that went and had work and her husband still don't want her. Ma'am, what is going on? Then she said Tisha ain't gonna do nothing. Basically said Tisha ain't gonna move nothing. Meaning what I took as, okay, she said something like to that effect. Meaning for me that girl, like, you don't want this, like you ain't trying to fight with me. Okay? I'm the last person you want to square upon. Yeah, that's crazy word. Okay. Tisha might feel like she got a little something to lose, just a little bit. Potentially. But girl, I ultimately overall, child, this right here it didn't hit, girl. Let me see what some of my tweets said to see if I could see if it was anything else that I may have mentioned over here on the Twitter that I did not mention today. Okay. So did Marsau on credit one with Maurice or did she mess with Maurice? Okay. She's not giving credible. That's what was a little fuzzy the way she was talking about that. Because she made it seem like she was messing with both of the brothers. And I'm like, what is this, honey? What are you saying? It was confusion. And then I said, now when she said Maurice was his alibi, then that I can't believe. Okay, I can believe that. I do believe that. Okay, and then we learned that Marsau was sending money to Arion on behalf of Mel. And all of that is alleged. I said not Marsau was sending money to Arion on behalf of Martell, but was up here pandering to Mel's fans, saying Martell is a disgrace when he stayed in the trenches with Martell and his shenanigans. Okay, so yeah, no. Okay, I won't be getting that one past me. I don't give a damn about who asked you what in the interview about RP and you spoke on it or whatever. But you coming to the front and then trying to paint that man out. Really, you telling us some stuff we already knew, number one, but you wanting to feel away because I don't get down with that. I don't support that. Only for your wife to go on a platform trying to snap off on Martell, only for it to kind of backfire, in my opinion, because she confirmed that it was already going on as far as the RP and stuff is concerned, because Martell had been showing y'all stuff. Okay, so now all of a sudden you want to act so distant to this stuff. Why you wasn't checking him back then when he been felt comfortable to do it enough to show you Arion and Mel based on what Tisha was saying. Yikey dikey. Okay, go away from us with this. Okay, go away. You about as worse as him. No matter how much you try to set yourself apart, even though your wife won't leave you, even though we learned that y'all were separated, but for some reason Carlos won't highlight that part or show that y'all living in two separate homes or whatever. The most that we got was y'all was gonna go live in Tisha and was gonna go live in the other house while you and your son live in a whole nother house and help build that one out. That's how the narrative kind of went at one point. Only for us to get to this season and learn that y'all was damn near at y'all breaking point about to separate. Okay, but I know for a fact Marsau fought for that. Because he didn't want to hear that backlash from the fans, in my opinion. He didn't want it to appear as though the fans may have won type thing. Like, oh, y'all wanted us to break up and y'all finally got what y'all wanted. You know? It don't matter to me what that's y'all marriage. Y'all want to stay together forever, stay. You don't, you don't. Whatever y'all want to do is on y'all. Ain't nobody rushing for y'all. I know on my end, I don't care if y'all leave each other or stay. I just would prefer if y'all clock each other accordingly. Okay? As y'all sit up there and talk about other people's stuff. But anywho, so Martell trying to prove to his then mistress that while he was married and in Vegas, he wasn't cheating on her while he was already married to Mel. I was fucking melting for sure. Arion calling Tisha a linebacker as she's sitting in front of a linebacker. And I mean, this is by your words, ma'am. This is by your words. That lady is the definition of a linebacker. You don't call Tisha slow. And this is a lot going on. I can't. This is a lot going on. I feel like the interview was unserious and it was very unproductive. And I think that it could have went a little better with the proper questioning, even if y'all don't know what y'all doing for real. And it's y'all first time doing a sit down like this. Get the primary things that people are going to want to know for it to be actual factual. If she's been talking to Marsau as long as she has, if you're coming to Texas and stuff, I would think there's some type of text messages, some type of phone call. Like, it's something, okay? It should be something that I would think y'all would have, or the side chick would have to show proof. I mean, if you feel she's talking about some Martell had her back when they was in Vegas and Marsau went buy her stuff and Martell had to tell her to had to tell him if you brought her out here, you got to buy her this or that. And I think she said he bought her something from Rothschild. I don't know. But my thing is, you ain't at least get a photo with Martell hanging out and about. You ain't even get the back of the man's head like the person did in the bed. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get something. And Martell, you bringing this like you don't know how to present receipts, honey. You don't know how to present receipts at all. And that's why even if you do have actual factual information and you're telling the truth, people don't believe you because you don't know how to present receipts. Okay? The biggest receipt as of right now would be just y'all being friends off rip for as long as y'all were. Okay? But we need a little additional to go along with that. Yikey dikey. But girl, it wasn't necessary. Okay. I just felt like they didn't need to really bring this to us. I was here for watching it, but it wasn't executed right. And if I was the Scots, in all honesty, I wouldn't even respond. I wouldn't react. I wouldn't get them nothing. I'll let it die down because the people dragging y'all enough for me, and it ain't much that I even need to damn say, high key. Okay, I'm sure they was over there cackling and laughing their ass off. And this is even if Marsau did mess with this girl, the way y'all conducted this interview was enough for him to just tell Tisha none of that shit happened. And because y'all was so unserious in this interview, Tisha gonna be like, and I believe it. I believe nothing happened. Like this is clownery. And then y'all gotta understand, Tisha not gonna leave her husband. If that's the end goal. I don't know what the end goal is. The end goal may be just to expose that you trying to sit up here and look down on somebody when you ain't too different. Maybe that's the end goal. But and maybe the mission could potentially be accomplished if it's done right. But if the end goal for them to divorce, that's not gonna happen. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Period. They will not be, and they're determined to not be in the same boat as you and your ex-wife. So either way, honey, good luck, good luck, good luck. I'm not really here to drag on the people too much. I'll let some other folks do that, but I just wanted to come and say that the interview was unserious, okay? But that's all I got. Y'all leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm Jami, that's me, and honey, I'll catch y'all in the next one, y'all. Bye.